And to all of you watching here, come close to the screen and listen. People don't have to like you. People don't have to love you. They don't even have to respect you. But when you look in the mirror, you better love what you see. You better love what you see. Thank you to the critics. Thank you. Thank you.
Everyone has a story. Everyone has... People tend to judge and interpret behavior without going to the source of that behavior. Like, they say that every saint, has a past and every sinner has a future. And it's so true. You can't... I don't know, people can change and people make mistakes and people are human, and you kind of need to love them for that. And I hope that people take that away, finding a way to love their imperfections and love themselves. And really, you can't truly accept other people until you accept yourself, and you can't really accept yourself until you accept other people. It kind of all weirdly goes hand in hand. And when you show kindness and compassion for yourself, then you're able to extend it, and it's all inextricably linked.
The first thing I want you to take away from today is this: you will have good days and you'll have bad days, but you will always learn something more or something new, and you will learn more overall on bad days than good days. You will learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about relationships, you'll learn about life and principles, and it'll build your character. If you're a person who wants, let's say, improve on your character of patience, let's say, don't complain when you're waiting in a line. You ain't going to grow in patience until you're put in a place to wait. It's like you go into a gym and, you walk in through the front doors and, you tell your wife or your husband, I'm going to the gym. You go into the gym and you come in 3 feet and you do a U-turn and you ride out. I went to the gym. Ain't gonna do nothing. You gotta go in there. What are you gonna do? You gotta pick up the weights. And you exercise the muscles that you want to build. I stand before you without arms and legs, but a very strong man because of the bad days in my life. You know how it is. If you didn't go what you've gone through, you wouldn't be who you are today. And I'm not belittling your pain, and don't worry, I've seen pain in my life, and I've seen not only in my life, but people's lives. And people say, well, at least I have no arms, no legs. And then what am I supposed to say? Well, at least I'm not an African orphan who's dying at 4 years old, and I met that person. What about the 10-year-old girl that was bought for $700 in Mumbai and kidnapped as a sex slave to have 350 clients before the age of 13, pregnant at 12, put the baby under the bed while she works on top, abandoned by her family? After she pays her debt of $700 after 3 years with her child, she leaves on the streets of Mumbai hoping for a new life. No family, no job, no food. Her baby needs food. She gets raped, beaten up on the street. She comes back to the only way that she knows how to make money. She goes back to the brothels. She gets pregnant at 15 the second time, and then that child dies. And at 20 years old, she comes up to me. Yes, I have met this woman. She comes up crying. She says, Nick, I just found out I got HIV/AIDS. And I got fined for being a prostitute. What do you say to that? You may have arms and legs, but unless you know 3 things. Number 1, who are you and what your value is? Number 2, what is your purpose here in life? And number 3, what is your destiny when you're done here? If you don't know the answers of any of those 3 questions, you're more disabled than I.
Now, if you've ever been called dumb, unattractive, overweight, unworthy, untalented, well, so have I. Whatever you do, don't let negativity of people projecting their own self-doubts on you deter you from your focus. I know those moments are painful, and you're human, and it hurts like hell, but now is the time to turn those criticisms into fuel and motivation to become a beautiful beast.
I can tell you from experience, the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. Your need for acceptance can make you invisible in this world. You will only ever have two choices, love or fear. Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
If you are looking for fame to define you, then you will never be happy, and you will always be searching for happiness, and you will never find it in fame.
As long as I do everything I can to do my best, then I feel pretty darn good about the effort. And sometimes I win and succeed, and sometimes I don't. But I always felt like if I didn't do everything I could to prepare, then that's when I had regret, and that's when I felt disappointed in myself.
Accept your lack of knowledge and use it as your asset. I know a famous violinist who told me that he can't compose because he knows too many pieces, so when he starts thinking of a note, an existing piece immediately comes to mind. Just starting out, one of your biggest strengths is not knowing how things are supposed to be. You can compose freely because your mind isn't cluttered with too many pieces.
Life's not fair, it never was, it isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. And yes, most things are more rewarding when you break a sweat to get them.
You know, you spend a lot of time just trying to be liked, and you get really worried about, do people like what I did, or do people appreciate my work? And I think that having the guts to just be yourself sometimes is harder than people think.
You know, no one's going to ever give you anything, and respect will be given when you earn it, and you got to earn it every single day. What helps me is to keep the hard times in the front of my mind, because it allows me to go into these big moments with a different perspective.
Of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable. Luxury to pursue what makes you happy. It's a moral obligation to pursue what you find meaningful. And that doesn't mean it's easy. It might require sacrifice.
But some failure in life is inevitable. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all.
My mindset is so simple. I just want to get better. I want to get better, and I want to work with great people. It's really simple.
You got to act, and you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn, you know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
Search for simplicity. Stay away from anything that makes a bunch of people stare at you while you're in a restaurant.
Okay. You just got to get out there and take a chance. Even if it's unpaid work, whatever it is, it will lead to something better. So,
the first rule of success is to have a vision. You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere. It's like you can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, it would just drift around. It would not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place.
You only learn, really, in this world from the mistakes you make, from hard times, from going through difficult periods. That's when you grow. And we should look at these moments as opportunities for growth and as almost blessings.